gains daily. Keep your muscles and immunity in their prime.
Order targeted with donuts are responsible for the 2nd and 4th. That lineup down the east and west that we did at the start, that's for this. After Zelenia's Shade uses Alexandrian Banish, a single hit split damage AoE that you'll want to make sure you remember to stack for, the side without donuts needs to spread and do the first Escalon's Fall cleave along the east ring of the hitbox, while the supports do the same on the west. Try to aim for the little arrow on the right side of her flank between the outer and inner ring of the hitbox, while relative to your cardinal. This mechanic will give all 4 players in either the DPS or support role 4 rose markers over their head. When the marker expires, it turns the tile under you into a red panel and connects it to any other red panels that are adjacent to it. This effectively extends the effect of anything that hits them. 4 rose markers over their head. When the marker expires, it turns the tile under you into a red panel and connects it to any other red panels that are adjacent to it. This effect
Hereeeeeeee.
effectively extends the effect of anything that hits them, which means the towers for this mechanic actually but I'll explain it first and then show you the floor layout. This mechanic will give all four... Now look at the cleaves coming out from the boss, east or west, just towards the wall. The east clone, that four adds die, that's all that matters. With that over, mitigate Zelenia's perfumed Quietus raid wide, and you're on to the real start of the fight. The main gimmick of this phase is Roseblood Bloom, which will summon rose patterns on the floor that interact with the various AoEs you and the boss get. I found this part very difficult to see as a colorblind player, so take your time getting used to spotting the pattern differences. There is also a small bleed puddle in the dead center of the room anytime Roseblood Bloom is currently ongoing. Do not ever run through the dead center. This bleed is like 80k per tick for 5 ticks. It's just not pretty. Just stick a bit to the inside of the boss's hitbox if need be, just not all the way. Roseblood Bloom number 1 will summon a floor pattern that features a long, snake-like green safe spot to look for. You'll want to use this to follow the rotating AoE that Zelenia starts casting. It moves incredibly slow, so don't try to follow too quickly. Once you reach the red end of the safe spot, everyone should just hang there while the remaining rotations go out, then immediately spread. It's safe to walk over the red when there's no AoEs going off, so you don't have to all hover in that little snake-like pattern. You can go to the other side, just make sure you're not overlapping with a player directly and that you yourself are not on a danger tile. After that is a raid wide before Roseblood Bloom number 2. This is simply a dodge everything bloom. You'll see 2 safe sections as soon as the phase begins, one with 2 safe spots along the outer ring and one with 2 safe spots along the inner ring. Which one you go to depends on the arrangement of the next AoEs, and it'll probably take a bit to get used to. The boss will begin using Thunder Slash, which will do a donut and point blank AoE combo, basically one after the other, and also 6 cleaves that come out of the boss one at a time. Whichever area is safe first, go to the side of the room that only has 1 safe spot to stand. For example, if you get donut safe first, go to the safe section in the donut that only has 1 safe cone. That will make sense in a second. Now look at the cleaves coming out from the boss. You'll want to dodge into the cleave that appeared last on your side of the room, and then dodge into the one that goes off before it. It's easy to mix these movements up without a lot of practice, so be sure to study the footage of my dodges that are on the screen right now, so you've got a handful of examples. This is why you want the double safe spaces for the second spot available to you, because you just don't know whether or not the cleave is going to be in a good or bad pattern. And you don't want only 1 safe spot to realistically go to, even if it is still technically possible to do without being hit. And worst case scenario, if it's just too much for you, just try to get hit by only a single thing. 1 vuln is nothing here. After this is tank tethers again, so let them grab them and get away. This goes right into Roseblood Bloom number 3. This one is definitely best shown with a diagram in my opinion, but I'll explain it first and then show you the floor layout. This mechanic will give all 4 players in either the DPS or support role 4 rose markers over their head. When the marker expires, it turns the tile under you into a red panel and connects it to any other red panels that are adjacent to it. This effectively extends the effect of anything that hits them, which means the towers for this mechanic actually extend into any adjacent red panels. However, if 2 towers are ever connected, they become invalid and will always blow up on the raid. So you're dropping roses on panels that won't connect towers while the other 4 players simply do the tower. As such, the layout that you want ends up looking like this diagram. You find the lone inner panel that's between 2 red panels and have the rose nearest to that one claim that spot. The other 3 roses need to make a line on the opposite side of that lone rose on the inner panels. This will prevent any towers from connecting. It's really nice to figure out where the lone rose will go, because you have like 10 seconds to do it before the roses even appear, and then have a color pair like claim that spot, while the remaining pairs prepare to either orient opposite of it or go into their tower. As for tower assignments, we just did it relative to your cardinal colors. So if you're part of the red color pair based on your clock spot assignments, You go to A, whichever one of the two is next to A. Yellow next to B, blue next to C, and purple next to D. It doesn't matter which side of the cardinal marker it's on, just that it's touching your color cardinal. Once the rose players swap panels, they should step onto the safe panels to avoid the tower explosion killing them with the magic ball, while the remaining players simply stand still and wait for the towers to resolve. After another raid wide will be Escalon's Fall number 2. Once the raid wide is done, all 4 DPS should immediately stack tightly on the east ring of the hitbox, while the supports do the same on the west. Try to aim for the little arrow on the right side of her flank between the outer and inner ring of the hitbox while she is casting her next ability. Zilenia will first cast Bud of Valor to summon a shade of Zilenia to do bonus mechanics. It was actually used during Bloom 3, but the core of that mechanic doesn't really require attention to it. This one casts Shock, marking all 4 DPS or all 4 supports with the large donut AoEs from the start of the fight. The role that gets the donut AoEs needs to stay tightly stacked, else they will obliterate each other in an instant. As these are resolving, Zilenia uses Escalon's Fall. The side that didn't get donut AoEs is responsible for the first and third cleaves, while the ones who were targeted with donuts are responsible for the second and fourth. That lineup down the east and west that we did at the start, that's for this. After Zilenia's Shade uses Alexandrian Banish, a single hit split damage AoE that you'll want to make sure you remember to stack for, the side without donuts needs to spread and do the first Escalon's Fall cleave along that side of the room. The donut team needs to be aware of what is coming out second and react accordingly. The whole stay, swap, stay, or swap, stay, swap idea still works the same, but the players need to stay calm and simply do the baits in the order they appear. Make sure not to accidentally clip each other while doing the half room spreading either. There's more than enough space, so don't feel like you need to huddle east and west. After that is a stock break before Rose Blood Bloom number 4. Once again, diagrams come in handy for this one. For this one role will get 4 roses and the other will get 4 spreads. The 4 roses want to be in this box format on the side with the 4 clear adjacent safe panels. The spread needs to make sure they do not cleave the rose side of the room at all. Otherwise, it will shock them and instantly kill them. So your AoE cannot go through the very center of the room. It cannot even remotely touch the danger panels near the east and west side. You just want to be spreading as far from the center as you comfortably can. Once those both resolve, everyone should stack on the danger side where the roses were all dropped. All 4 DPS will be tethered to 1 support each. The tethers are broken by proximity relative to you and your partner's initial distance, so stacking up makes them easier to break. Once you see the Thorny Vine debuff, DPS run towards the east side of the room, and supports run towards the west side. You want to stay on the danger panels. One of the healers will actually get a split damage AoE, and by keeping all 8 players on the danger panels, all 8 players will be hit by the split damage AoE, even though the 4 DPS are on the other side of the room. Otherwise, you need a ton of mitigation to survive comfortably, and your healers will not be happy about that, because I'm happy. After another raid wide is Escalon's Fall number 3. This one will begin with Bud of Valor again, summoning a shade on the north and south side of the room. The north shade will do a half room AoE before Escalon's Fall finishes casting, about halfway through its cast bar, while the south one will do its half room AoE after all 4 set of cleaves have resolved. There isn't much to this one. Do Escalon's Fall in your clock spots like you did the first one, but dodge the cleaves before and after. The timing is tight, but if you watch the cast bars and move quickly, there should be plenty of time. Dodge cleaves, supports do first and third, DPS do second and fourth, dodge second half room. I highly recommend any player that is out not go much past the boss's hitbox ring. Otherwise, dodging the second half room gets a lot tougher. Look at my positioning in the video as a solid example of what you want your approximate movement to be, regardless of where you are. Even if you're the east or west person, you happen to be out, you don't want to be really further than that distance, and you do want to just beeline to the other side. Sprint, of course, helps. After a stock break is Roseblood Bloom number 5, which is another dodge everything mechanic, though with much more visual clutter. You'll see 2 safe quadrants of the room, and basically be dodging 1 set of AoEs in 1 quadrant before quickly swapping to the other. First is Valorous Ascension, which does a small raid wide and summons 2 slashes off to the side. The first set of slashes will hit one quadrant and the second set will hit the other, so go to the second quadrant first. Next is Thunder Slash, which works the same as bloom number 2. The second, without much more visual clutter. You'll see two safe quadrants of the room and basically be dodging one set of AoEs in one quadrant before quickly swapping to the other. First is Valorous Ascension, which does a small raid wide and summons two slashes off to the side. The first set of slashes will hit one quadrant and the second set will hit the other, so go to the second quadrant first. Next is Thunder Slash, which works the same as bloom number 2. Remember, whichever dodge you do first, you need to do the opposite second. So, start in the second quadrant, do the in or out, then run to the first quadrant when that goes off and dodge the opposite in or out. The only remaining thing here is the 6 cleaves from the boss. You'll want to be running into the first cleave that appears on the other side, which seems to always be clockwise of the quadrant you're starting in. So run to the opposite quadrant, clockwise, and do the opposite in-out mechanic you did first. It can be tight for the timing, so be sure to run a straight line there. Sprint helps, and running through the boss ring helps too. Just not through the very center. No bleeds. After you do another set of tank tethers is Roseblood Bloom number 6, the final new mechanic. This one is very simple but highly prone to mistakes. Fortunately, it's a bit cheesable. For this one, we actually sent Light Party 1 north and Light Party 2 south. Yeah, those light parties we made at the start, we don't use them all the way to here. We only even did light parties just because it made sense for position assignment, which it will make more sense in a second. The PF might adopt something like tank range north, melee healer south, because you do need DPS and support on each side of the room, but it's all arbitrary. You just need to know how to do the mechanic regardless of where you're assigned. This combo will have all 4 DPS or all 4 supports be targeted by roses. We want both roses to be next to each other, flush north or south depending on which group you're in. The non-roses will instead focus on the towers that are on the north and south side of the room. One will be closer to the middle and one will be kind of on the opposite side further back, but we'll talk about that more in a second. Shortly after the rose markers appear, Zelenia will telegraph back-to-back Holy Hazard cleaves. The roses will flip panels when the second Holy Hazard AoE is being telegraphed, and the towers will resolve when the second Holy Hazard AoE is actually going off. The second set of cleaves will always cover either both the inner towers or both the outer towers. This is where understanding the extension effect of the danger zones is important. By lining up 2 roses next to each other, and both of those being next to a tower, you are effectively extending the range of the tower all the way to the second cleave's safe zone, meaning the non-rose players can get both towers without being cleaved. The 2 rose players should look at the first Holy Hazard telegraph. Whichever tower isn't being hit by the first one, you should drop your roses next to that one, because it implies that it will be hit by the second cleave and you need to extend it. This is simply taking a small step back or a small step forward decision. You never want to move left or right with your roses. Then, all players should dodge both Holy
to get down?
The Upstart's Cruiserweight campaign begins! Duck square!
Can you keep up with the rhythm? We're just getting started! Keep grooving, baby!
Dancing Green is pulling out all the stops with these steps.
On the dance floor, everyone's a star! Bask in the spotlight and burn, baby, burn!
An invitation to dance. How will the challenger respond?
Come on, show me your moves!
Amazing! They clearly anticipated that attack.
You're up, dancers! Let's turn up the heat! Try to keep up now!
The fever's taken hold. Can the Upstart keep up with Dancing Green?
Dance like there's no tomorrow! Let's finish with style! Groovy moves! The crowd's loving it! Back to it, dancers! Show us some electrifying moves! bask in the spotlight and burn, baby, burn!
The challenger's down! Is this the end? The challenger rises again! Can they turn this around? Oh no! That was too much for the challenger! They're back on their feet! Let's see if they can stay standing!
Dancers, take it away! Yeah, baby! I feel the fever coming on again!
The knight's reached a fever pitch! All eyes are on Dancing Green!
Dance like there's no tomorrow! Let's finish with style! Groovy moves! The crowd's loving it! Come on, show me your moves! We're just getting started! Keep grooving, baby!
It's all over! Until next time.
hazard AoEs, while the non-roses get the towers. Move left or right with. This is simply taking a small step back or a small step forward decision. You never want to move left or right with your roses. Then, all players should dodge both Holy Hazard AoEs, while the non-roses get the towers. With our light party setup, we had the melees or tanks prio the tower closest to the center, and the range/healer prio the further one. Fully believe that's not what the PF is going to adopt, but like I said, worked for us. Truth be told, I can't think of a single pull where this all went perfectly. So long as the towers are never connected and thus disabled, as long as the non-rose players get them, you'll be perfectly fine. So just ensure that a player fills those. Non-rose players can easily survive Holy Hazard with basic myth. So if all of the movement or the extended AoE range of the tower is just kind of confusing to you or is hard to process, just get your tower and you're in the clear. Try to only be hit by one Holy Hazard if you can, but like, as long as you get the tower, then the mechanic will resolve A-OK. I expect the PF will probably tank LB3 Holy Hazard just to make sure that the tower players don't have to do any movement at all, but the non-rose players still need to get the towers. If a tower explodes, even with tank LB3, 4 people are dying. It's a little too much for even that to handle. All that's remaining for the fight is to do Roseblood Bloom #1 again, then raid-wide, tank tethers, and 3 stock breaks back to back before the Enrage. And honestly, the Enrage sequence is pretty long, as Zelenia will change the arena to all red panels, then actually charge up her Enrage, and even when the cast bar finishes, it's still several seconds, probably 2 or 3 GCDs before it actually kills the party. So just get the patterns down, take your time, try to understand it, and you won't find this fight too intimidating. Now that's going to be a wrap for my guide to Recollection Extreme. Thank you for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe and stay tuned. We'll be having plenty of prediction videos for the Savage updates for the Arcadian Normal Guide.
Stock break is just a multi-hit symbol here, means that the 4 nearest players are going to get targeted. This symbol means the 4 furthest players from the boss are going to get targeted. Each hit gives a 5-second vuln, and since the hits happen every 3 seconds, this essentially means no player can take 2 attacks in a row. This means we're going to have to occasionally swap who's the nearest and the furthest players by having rolls either move in or out of the hitbox. Now, there's really only 2 possible patterns for this mechanic. The single swap is when you see the first 2 symbols are different from each other. In this case, players can stand still for the first 2 hits, and then swap which roll is in and which roll is out after 2 hits. You can then stand still for the next 2 hits. The double swap is when you see 2 of the same symbol back to back. When this happens, you need to swap after the first hit, and then do another swap after the 3rd hit. Let's take a look at this. Escalant's Fall goes off, and we see the near bait, followed by the far bait. We now know it's going to be a single swap. Far bait, near bait. Let's put those up top, and here's how it goes. DPS are already in, so they naturally just take the near bait, and the supports are already out, so they naturally take the far bait. This is single swap, so we swap after 2 hits. The far bait now hits the DPS, and the near bait hits the supports. And that's it. Stock break is just a multi-hit stack. Hits 4 times, make sure to mitigate. Now we get Blessed Barricade, and we're going to have all the supports go west and all the DPS go east as we start an ad phase. For this, you've got 4 Roseblood drops that need to be DPS'd down to be able to continue. 1 random support and 1 random DPS is going to be tethered to this ad. The support's always going to be tethered to the west ad, and the DPS always to the east ad. We're also going to get a 3-person tower on each side. The first one will always spawn at 2 and 4. The player with the ad can rotate their ad, and they need to make sure that the sword of the ad is pointed outside of the arena because that's the side that they're going to cleave. The other players are just going to hop into the tower on their side. Be mindful as the player with the ad that you will actually be in the telegraph of the attack, and you're going to need to dodge out of it very quickly afterwards. This then repeats over and over again. We get a total of 3 sets of 3-man towers, and we get 4 tethers where every single player on each side is eventually going to get tethered to the ad. Continue to dodge it as I showed before, DPS down the drops. Assuming you've done this in time and Zelenia's Ether hasn't risen to 100, the shield will fall off the boss, the boss will become targetable and cast Perfumed Quietus, which is an ultimate attack. Just mitigates and heals. In this phase, we now get Roseblood Bloom attacks, and every time this is cast, you're going to get the stage transition. Be aware, whenever the stage is in this new form, there's a circle in the middle of the arena, just a tiny one, that would cause a very spicy dot to go on you. Don't run directly through the middle of the arena. You'll notice that some of the tiles are plain and some of the tiles are red. Right now, that doesn't really matter. However, certain attacks can cause the red, viney tiles to become unsafe. Say, for instance, Alexandrian Thunder 2. This is 3 Conal Cleaves, and the boss will have it rotate. Look at the safe tiles, the ones that don't have vines on it. There should be 3 inner safe tiles all together, in this case sort of in the 3 corner between B and 4. Go there, and go behind the rotation of this attack. Then slowly follow it as it rotates around, making sure not to sit in the attack, and not to accidentally step on one of the red tiles, as they are now dangerous and will cause severe damage if you're stood in one. Just as you think you're running out of room, the attacks will stop, and instead every player is targeted with an Alexandrian Thunder spread. The vine tiles are no longer unsafe, which means you can move through them to go spread. However, they will become unsafe again when the spreads go off, so don't be stood in a viney tile. You can just free-for-all this spread, there's plenty of time and plenty of room. Be aware that this first mechanic can come with an alternate floor pattern, but it's still the same basic idea. Find the 3 inner safe tiles, in this case between 2 and D, and stand behind the rotation of the attack. So in this case, players would start at A.
You make good choices. After all, they brought you this far.
will you give me, I wonder?
Welcome to Sugar Riot's Gallery of Glamours!
Perhaps I'll draw this.
And with a flourish, Sugar Riot brings her work to life.
What's your favorite color? An image comes to me. I hope you like it hot and sandy.
Goodness! The rain has become a desert!
How about a little more sunshine? When I think desert, I think of these prickly fellows.
Watch out! It's a veritable storm of needles!
There's something missing. Oh, I know.
Quicksand? Oh, you don't want to get caught in that!
What's your favorite color? When you can't decide on one thing. What do you think of this?
Amazing! They clearly anticipated that attack!
day to a refreshing riverscape.
A crystal clear river! How charming! Oh no! That was too much for the challenger!
This is no good. It needs a touch of thunder, a dash of downpour.
A thunderstorm has turned the waters muddy! How frightening!
I have it. Some destruction to facilitate deconstruction.
A massive raging storm! I hope you brought your parasols.
When you can't decide on one thing. What do you think of this?
That's square! It's all over. Until next time.
come to Her Highness. Feel the sting of my divine blade! Try this! No quarter! Upon my blade I swear, no harm shall come to Her Highness. Feel the sting of my divine blade! Try this! No quarter! Taste my steel! Upon my blade I swear, no harm shall come to Her Highness. Feel the sting of my divine blade! harm shall come to Her Highness. Feel the sting of my divine blade! Try this! No quarter! Taste my steel! I will show you the soul of a royal knight! Upon my blade I swear, no harm shall come to Her Highness. Feel the sting of my divine blade! Try this! No quarter! Taste my steel! Upon my blade, I swear, no harm shall come to Her Highness. Feel the sting of my divine blade! Try this! No quarter! Taste my steel! I will show you the soul of a royal knight! Upon my blade, I swear, no harm shall come to Her Highness. Feel the sting of my divine blade! blade, I swear, no harm shall come to Her Highness. Feel the sting of my divine blade! Try this! No quarter! Taste my steel! I will show you the soul of a royal knight! Upon my blade, I swear, no harm shall come to Her Highness. Feel the sting of my divine blade! Try this! No quarter! Taste my steel! I will show you the soul of a royal knight! Upon my blade, I swear, no harm shall come to Her Highness. water! Taste my steel! I will show you the soul of a royal knight! For the honor and glory of Alexandria, I strike! No more games! You've no time even to fear my wrath! Heavens roar! Try this! There is no escape! Surge! Upon my blade, I swear, no harm shall come to Her Highness. Feel the sting of my divine blade! Upon my blade, I swear, no harm shall come to Her Highness. Feel the sting of my divine blade! Try this! No quarter! Taste my steel! I will show you the soul of a royal knight! Upon my blade, I swear, no harm shall come to Her Highness. Feel the sting of my divine blade! Try this! No quarter! Taste my steel! I will show you the soul of a royal knight! Upon my blade, I swear, no harm shall come to Her Highness. sting of my divine blade! Try this! No quarter! Taste my steel! I will show you the soul of a royal knight! For the honor and glory of Alexandria, I strike! No more games! Burst! swear no harm shall come to Her Highness. Feel the sting of my divine blade! Try this! No quarter! Taste my steel! I will show you the soul of a royal knight! For the honor and glory of Alexandria, I strike! No more games! Burst! You've no time even to fear my wrath! Heavens roar! Try this! blade, I swear, no harm shall come to Her Highness. Feel the sting of my divine blade! Try this! No quarter! Taste my steel! I will show you the soul of a royal knight! For the honor and glory of Alexandria, I strike! No more games! Burst! blade, I swear, no harm shall come to Her Highness. Feel the sting of my divine blade! Try this! No quarter! Taste my steel! Upon my blade, I swear, no harm shall come to Her Highness. Feel the sting of my divine blade!